Welcome back to another episode of Tech DLDR News. Today I have an update regarding SpaceX's SN9's launch, as well as another story regarding Axial Space and the first commercial crew members to go to the ISS. So if you want to know all about that, be sure to stick through the whole episode. But let's get into the reason why you clicked on this video. So SpaceX's Starship SN9 did not launch yesterday, obviously, and unfortunately, guys, we're not going to see it launch today. So yesterday, locals of the area got a notification regarding that there's going to be a closure in terms of the roads in that area. These locals always get these notifications whenever any sort of testing is going on. However, they actually got an update regarding that the closure had been canceled. So today, there will be no testing for SpaceX. We can also verify that through the FAA's TFR website. We can see that in Brownsville, Texas, they have clearance for Friday and Thursday, but not today, January 27th. So the Starship, the SN9, it's not going to launch today. However, I think SpaceX will do an SN9 launch tomorrow, Thursday, January 28th. Why is that? Well, the weather in Texas is going to be very favorable tomorrow compared to today. Today's weather in Texas, they're having plus 40 mile an hour winds, 40 mile an hour plus winds. This is not optimal to be doing testing because they need to have as many variables, or as few variables, possible to make sure that if anything does go wrong, it's much easier to pinpoint. If the wind is what throws off the landing for the SN9, because as we all know, the SN9, we want to see a landing come out of this, and if the wind is what throws it off, it's hard for SpaceX to then go and correct anything, because how can they correct the wind? They can't. They need to have as perfect conditions as possible. That doesn't mean in the future that this can't land with high winds. It just means that for testing purposes and for getting pure data in terms of the specs on the machine, you can't have these outside forces like this. Tomorrow, however, Thursday, January 28th, the winds are going to be less than 10 miles an hour, I believe, in the area. Partly cloudy, which, I mean, may or may not be a problem, but I think tomorrow we'll see it. SpaceX have been very patient. We've all been patient on this. They've wanted to get this done. As you guys know, they've had multiple engine swaps for the Raptor engines and multiple delays. The static fires, though, after the engines have been swapped, were successful. So I think that everything is good to go. It's just the weather. Tomorrow, guys, I'm going to update you guys as soon as I get more information. So if you want to know more, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if that's all you guys want to know regarding the actual launch date, that's all I have for you guys on that. So if you're going to leave the video, just be sure to click the like button on the way up. It helps me out a lot. But if you want to know more about Axial Space, let's get into that. So Axial Space, if you don't know, I talked about them previously, but they're essentially a private space company that wants to make the first private space station. The ISS has a limited lifespan, and Axiom wants to be a commercial provider for any country, anyone to go. Now, coming in no sooner than January of 2022, Axiom will be launching 4 crew members, commercial crew members, to the ISS via the SpaceX Dragon cargo. The vice president of the company, Michael Lopez Allegra, used to actually work for NASA. He was a previous astronaut for NASA, and he's going to be piloting and manning this trip for them. I shouldn't say piloting. He's going to be serving as the head guy. The other guys are essentially just rich dudes. And now there's a lot of controversy regarding this whole thing about why should we be focused on rich people going to space? Why is this important? Blah, blah, blah. Let me give you my perspective from an everyday guy. I think the importance of this is that although rich people going to space is not really relevant, it's unfortunately necessary. This is going to cost about $55 million per person for this trip. Now, the reason why we need that is because space doesn't happen without money. And it's the unfortunate truth. We can't have a new space station. We can't have things on the moon. We can't go to Mars without a lot of money. They're very expensive. The people who make this equipment, the engineers, the manufacturing side, everybody needs to make their money. And it's expensive. I know all these businesses are working to cut down those costs as much as possible, but in the meantime, these rich guys going into space playing astronauts, we kind of need them. And it's the unfortunate truth. Am I excited about this? Nah, I could care less. But I am glad to see that more space companies are getting involved in this. There's more money going into this, and people are looking toward the future and not just giving up on space like they did back in the 70s, 80s, especially after space shuttle crash. That really kind of nailed the coffin for a long time in terms of people wanting to go into space. They didn't want to after that. Now things are changing, much safer equipment. So this is one of those big leaps that we have to take, that people have to see and accept that yes, rich people are going to space. It's happening. But be glad that they are paying the big price so that one day us, the normal guys, can pay hopefully an actual affordable amount to go to the moon. Who knows? One day take your family to the moon, maybe do a couple laps around Mars. Hey, we'll see what happens. That's all I have for you guys on this episode. If you want more of this type of content, be sure to subscribe to the channel because I have this stuff coming out every day. And also, be sure to click the like button. It helps me out a ton. And if you have any comments, concerns, questions, let me know in the comments. I love interacting with you guys and talking, getting to know. So if you have anything, leave it in the comments. And also, have a good one.